Okay, today, Kate, we're going to make the crispy chicken with Meaux mustard, or poulet croustillant à la moutarde de Meaux, which is a French recipe. It's very simple to make. Originally, it was done with rabbit legs, but we're going to substitute the rabbit legs with chicken. I'm using chicken thigh with the bone, breadcrumbs, some oil, and a special kind of mustard. This is not Dijon. This is a Meaux. It's called a Meaux mustard. It's a grainy kind of mustard. I'm going to show it to you in a little bit how it looks like. But if you don't have the Meaux mustard, you can use a grainy kind of mustard, which will be a Dijon mustard, which will be more, look for something that's grainy, not the creamy kind of Dijon mustard, okay? But meanwhile, while I was doing this, I was warming up the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And what we'll do to start this off is I'm going to use a baking dish or a pan, roasting a baking pan, and we're just going to spread around 2 tablespoons of oil. And I'm going to use my glove here. I'm just going to spread that oil onto the pan right here, and I'm going to put this inside the oven and let it heat up. While this is heating up, I'm going to prepare the chicken with the mustard and the breadcrumbs. We're going to lay the chicken once it's all prepped, okay? For this dish, we're going to use, I'm using some chicken, chicken thigh with bone. I'm going to put the mustard, rub it all over the chicken thigh here. I'm going to use maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of the mustard, and then it's going to make a crust. It's going to make this, it's going to make it crispy. That's the purpose of the mustard. Puts in some kind of tanginess to it, but not very tangy. It's a more flavor. Well, for me at least, it's a more flavorful kind of mustard. I think I'll have to add more. By the way, it's a little bit more, the Meaux mustard de Meaux is more expensive than your Dijon mustard. So if you don't like to pay a premium on it, just use a grainy kind of mustard like what I said earlier. Grainy Dijon mustard will work. But at least I would want you to try to use this kind of mustard. It has a different flavor profile. It's much more flavorful than your Dijon. Press the breadcrumbs well into the chicken right here. Now, if you like rabbit, or you are able to find rabbit, the original recipe, like I mentioned earlier, is with rabbit legs. I haven't tried that only because I don't have sourcing for rabbit legs. Or even if there is, I've never really bothered to purchase and try it. But I'm thinking that it's a good mixture with the mustard. It will mix very well with the rabbit, because rabbit's a bit gamey for me, so I don't really cook rabbit. So put a lot of the breadcrumbs. It creates that crust. Press it really well into the chicken right here. And then once the pan is hot, we're going to just put all of this chicken in there and roast it for a good 30 minutes, or until the juices of the chicken go clear. And that's the time that you know that it's cooked. So here's our pan. It's really hot. I put oil on it, drizzled oil on it, place it in the oven on a 400 degree oven. So now that's hot, I'm going to lay the chicken. Could you hear that sizzle right there? And we're going to roast this for 30 minutes or until the juices run clear. Okay, so this is ready to be placed in the oven, a 400 degree oven, and roasted for at least 30 minutes or until the juices of the chicken run clear. Okay, here we go. After cooking for 30 minutes, when the juices have been clear, with the chicken here. You should have to check that it's cooked. We have a beautiful crust that's been generated by the roasting and the combination of the moutarde de Meaux and breadcrumbs. We have this beautiful crust. So here's the finished product. We have our crispy chicken in Meaux moutarde, and we're going to serve it, and I've plated it with some lettuce and just you could put some dressing on it if you want, but I'm just going to eat this without any dressing because I think the chicken is enough. The chicken is flavored enough that we just need a neutral kind of vegetable to complement the chicken here. And once again, the mustard that we used for this dish, or that I used for this dish, is called the moutarde de Meaux. Let me show that to you. Hopefully that's clear enough that you can see it. It's a bit more pricier than your Dijon mustard, but it's worth your while. So try to get, if you don't have this one, like I said earlier, you could use a grainy kind of Dijon mustard. So you don't want the creamy kind of mustard, you want a grainy mustard. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut through this chicken here. Chicken is always a comfort food. Roast chicken or fried chicken for me is comfort. So here we have a crispy crust. There you go, yeah. Never fails. It's such an easy recipe that you can't go wrong in cooking it. And it goes very well with the salad or lettuce here that we're using. The thing about this dish is I don't even use salt. It's just the mustard and breadcrumbs. I think the breadcrumbs have some salt into it, and that's what puts additional flavors into the dish. So let me show you the chicken. It's moist, crispy, and juicy. And it's a go-to dish if you don't have a lot of time and you are just limited with your ingredients. So go ahead, Kate, try this one. It's an easy dish to make. Okay? Crispy chicken in Meaux mustard. Okay.